So are you thinking about your safety, theft, and home burglaries here in the Philippines? If so, watch this video.
Stay tuned.
So this is a topic that's really not discussed that much on YouTube channels.
No.
You see a few, but not many. But we want to tackle this topic because it seems to be an important one, as well as we're seeing an increase in just normal theft and home burglaries in this area. And we're going to get into some specifics. So right off the bat, we'll throw the disclaimer out there. Wilma and I now is almost 3 years here, retired in the Philippines. It'll be 3 years this July.
Yes, July.
And boy, did that 3 years go by fast.
Very fast.
And we visited the Philippines 4 times before we retired here. So our 5th trip was our retirement journey. And I can say that Wilma and I feel safe in this country, though you do hear about some issues, just like you do in any country. But overall, I think the Philippines is safe. But don't be gullible or naive and think that it doesn't happen. To say that there's no crime in the Philippines is not a true statement. And we want to kind of go over some specifics with you. So again, do we feel safe? Yes. But Wilma and I also put quite a few things in place that we're going to get ready to discuss on this video. And then actually at the end of the video, we will show you another thing that we just recently did. And that's going to spark a part 2, a second video regarding this topic. So bottom line is we've been in this house over a year, and we've put some things in place, and we feel pretty comfortable with what we've done. Well, let's talk a little bit about petty theft. Okay, so that happens all over the world, and sometimes some short stories helps really solidify the topic. So we'll talk about 2 issues that we heard of just recently.
Yeah.
So the first one is happened a while back. First-hand knowledge from the person that it happened. They have a vehicle. They were driving down in one of the municipals here, very close to where we live, but down on the national highway. And they were just simply going into a store to purchase something. So they didn't feel the need to lock their doors.
Yeah.
So mistake number 1. And the windows was open. And in the passenger seat was the gentleman's, call it man purse.
Man purse. And a cell phone.
Something I just can't get used to. I won't use a man purse.
Yeah.
But anyway, he had some money and his wallet with some credit cards and his driver's license. And he said he was only in the store for a couple minutes, come out, the man purse was gone. Next story. This just happened about 2 weeks ago.
Not long ago?
Yeah, a friend, we were out and a friend of ours came up to us and said, hey, I need to tell you a story, what just happened. So he had a friend of his come visit from another island and had a rented scooter, and our friend has a scooter. So they actually stopped by a convenience store just to go in to get some refreshments. And the person who was visiting left his cell phone in the little cubby of the scooter. Again, it was only in the convenience store for a couple minutes, came out, cell phone was gone. It happened to be an iPhone 15 and it has good technology, and you could track the phone. So they went on another phone and tracked the phone, and it went basically 2 municipals away from where they were, and they could see that it was tracking up the mountain. Not up our mountain, but another municipal. Yeah. So they actually went to the police and reported it stolen. We won't say what municipal. And they also said, I can track the phone within so many meters. I know exactly where the phone is. So what the police recommended was call the phone, see if the person picks up in the presence of the police, and see what would happen. And luckily enough, the person answered the phone, happened to be a female, and the police said, you need to bring the phone back. The person said, it's too late in the day, I don't want to come down off the mountain. Please, can I bring the phone back tomorrow? So the police and then the gentleman who was a foreigner who lost the phone, they negotiated and said that they would meet in the morning. So I'm not exactly sure. Let's say it was 8 a.m. So at 8 a.m., this foreigner goes back to the police station and says, okay, I need to, meet this person here. And they said, oh yeah, we know the person is about to come. And he could track it on another iPhone and saw that the phone was on the move down the mountain. Only in the Philippines. So the lady did bring the phone back to the police station and handed the phone over to the police, and then subsequently the foreigner got the phone back. So the foreigner assumed that she would be arrested. She was not.
No.
And actually, here's the kicker. The lady who stole the phone through the police asked if the foreigner could pay for her hubble hubble ride back to her house because she didn't have money to get back to her house. And the foreigner did so. I think it was 200 pesos.
Yeah, that's about
something like that. So he actually had to pay, and he didn't have to, but I guess he was happy he got his iPhone back. Paid 200 pesos so the thief could go back home. And that was just a couple weeks ago. So again, only in the Philippines. So there's two examples of just local petty theft that happens all over the world and has happened here recently. So next, let's talk about probably even more important topic, home burglaries.
Yes.
And that relates to building the Philippines. So just recently, we've been told of some local home burglaries. Have they been happening right along? We just didn't know about them, not sure. But there has been a few. I think all total 5, and I'm going to explain 2 of them in examples. So one was closer downtown, and it happened to be in Darwin. And what happened there was, and it's pretty brash, a foreigner's home. So let's start looking at some common denominators. A foreigner's home in the evening hours, 7 p.m., foreigner husband, Filipino wife making dinner in the kitchen. And the wife needed to go into the master bedroom for something. Filipina goes into the master bedroom, and there is a burglar in the bedroom who dumped out some drawers, contents on the bed, going through looking for money, jewelry, whatever the case may be. Startled the person left. They called the police. They found out that the back door was broken into with a pry bar. The pry bar was actually left there at the scene, and obviously that was the end of the story. But the person broke into the home in the evening while the people were in the home.
Yeah, cooking dinner.
Dinner.
That's pretty gutsy.
Very gutsy, and it's a common denominator, so I'm going to keep going with this story. My understanding, not well lit around the house. Did have a wall, concrete wall around the property. Did have a gate. I was told the gate was left open because it is inconvenient, and we're getting ready to, we were just talking about it last night, getting ready to put electric gate opener for our home. We're getting ready to do that. But we always lock our gate.
Always.
Constantly. Right now during the day, our gate is locked. If we're up in the house, the gate is locked. If we leave the property, the gate is locked. If we're going to go out for a walk, we lock the gate from the outside. That's just what we do.
It's just a habit.
Just a habit. So this person had the gate open, so evidently the person just came through the gate. So again, just trying to get this information out there. Next story. again in Dowen, again a foreigner's home. A little further up the mountain, the family, the husband and wife, 2 children, sleeping, middle of the night. They have a dog in the house. Dog started barking. They didn't think really nothing of it, just went back to sleep. A few moments later, time went by, they're back sleeping. Their master bedroom door opens. The burglar walked through the master bedroom while they were sleeping.
That's scary.
And they have a slider going out to a patio. Tried to open the latch of the slider, made a metal noise, woke the husband up. Husband yelled. Burglar ran out past the bed.
Past the wife.
Past the wife, out the door of the master bedroom, through the living room, out the front door, and gone. In the middle of the night. Can you imagine? Didn't have proper lighting. Didn't have proper CCTV. No wall around the house. So some common denominators there. That story itself was told to me by that homeowner.
Yes.
The first story was told by the neighbor of the homeowner who happens to be a foreigner. So again, pretty accurate information. So that's just 2 examples, and then we know of a few more in the Valencia area, and 3 actually, and again, all foreigners. So does Filipino citizens' homes get broken into? Of course they do. But for what we have heard in this area, they have targeted foreigner homes.
Yes.
So very, very important. So we wanted to share just a few of those stories just to understand that it does happen and you need to protect yourself. And this is what we have done. So obviously all the things that we have done, I'm sure there's many, many more good things that could be done, which we may do in the future. But let's just talk through it a little bit. Number 1, don't be flashy.
Yes, definitely.
A lot of people brag loudly in front of strangers how much money they have, how much money's coming in.
How much money they keep in the house.
How much money they keep in the house. Don't be flashy, because when you do that, you're making yourself a target. That's number 1. I would say also, be a good person. If you're a jerk of the community and not nice to your neighbors, that could play a role. You know, be nice, you know, help people if you can, be friendly, and I think that goes a long way as well. So I think that's a couple things you can do to help. Next up, which I think is big, have a good concrete wall around your property. Almost all Filipino citizens have some type of fence or obstruction. It could be just a bamboo fence, but they have fences around their property. We did it mainly because of keeping the stray dogs and animals out. That was really our intent, but of course a level of safety. So have a good wall around your house. I think that helps. Have a good solid gate in front of your home and use it. Shut the gate. Now, all the break-ins that we've heard about happened at night. I guess that makes sense, you know, under the cover of darkness. So make sure at least in the evening, shut your gate and lock it. Don't just shut it where someone can slide it right open. Shut it and lock it so someone would have to break the lock to actually get into your property, or have some type of ladder to be able to climb over. Would a burglar be able to get across our wall or over our gate?
Yes.
Of course. But again, it's just another level of complexity to slow them down. It makes us a harder target. So in my eyes, looking at 2 homes side by side, one has a wall with a gate that I just tested and it's locked. One doesn't have a wall or does with no gate or the gate's unlocked. If I'm going to be a robber, I would imagine I would take the house, the easier target. I would assume so. So that's number 1. Number two, and this is something that's a little different from what we're used to in the U.S., have your property well lit at night. We have 8 solar lights around the perimeter of our property. On either side of the property, the very front, then 25% in, 25% in, and then the back corners of the home, we have solar lights. So we have 4 on one side, 4 on the other. They're lit, obviously they're solar all night long. They stay lit all night long. And that illuminates enough of the property, which one, it helps with our CCTV cameras because there's some nice light there. And two, what we have been told that most burglars will not target a home that's well lit. They prefer to go to a home that's dark. And the one that we just told you, that the homeowner told me the story direct, he had no outside lights. So again, that kind of, made me feel better that the information that I had is true, that if you have a well-lit property, less likely to burglarize it. We also have night lights in our dirty kitchen. We have lights in our carport that stay on all night long. We also have 3 lights of all the lights that we have here in the main room. 3 lights in the kitchen lit, as well as a couple night lights. So I did a little video last night just to show you how the house is lit at night, and I want to show that to you now. Since all the burglaries took place at night, I figured I'll show you what our house looks like at night. So this is with all our outside lights on. So you can see the house is lit up pretty good. And then these are examples of our solar lights that we have around the perimeter. We really like them. They're 900 lumens, and we have them positioned every 25% of the property. So there's one there's one on the other side of the cubo, and there's one in the back corner, and it repeats on the other side. You can see the carport is lit up, and that's lit up all night. And our truck is always locked. And of course, all the windows and doors at night are locked as well. So carport remains lit at night. Another example of another solar light. And then even in the back corner, we have a light. So this is what it looks like when we turn off the main lights. So for the remainder of the night, this is how the house will look. Solar lights will stay on all night around the perimeter of the building. Carport light stays on, dirty kitchen lights on, and then we keep those 3 lights on of the house as well. So there's another example of the solar lights on the other side. And then do a quick zoom. That's the way the house is lit all night long. So next up is invest in some good security cameras. Now, will a burglar who is going to go after your home, going to research to see if you have CCTV? Maybe so, maybe not. I'm going to say no. So it's really reactive. It's not going to stop somebody, but at least you'll have some video footage. So I recommend that you have a good enough system and store the video on the cloud. All our cameras store video on the cloud, so in case they rip the camera down or whatever the case may be, steal all the cameras, there's going to be video storage of that on the cloud. And have enough. We just, because of the local burglaries, in the last 60 days, we bought more cameras. We now have some CCTV in the house. In the living room. That we didn't have anymore. And then we also have CCTV in our dirty kitchen. And we added some in the utility room, as well as another camera out and about in the front. So as it stands right now, there is not 1 inch of property, because we had a couple blind spots. We do not have 1 inch that's not under CCTV. And we actually invested in 2K color with night vision. So the regular high def cameras that's all over the internet, they're 1080. They're okay, but when you upgrade to 2K, boy, it's really, really clear. And the night vision works fantastic. And then with the solar lights that illuminate the property just a little bit, that just adds to it. So you could actually tell the color of their shirt, for example, if they come on the property, just because of the night vision slash illumination. A lot of times you see footage of people breaking in, it's in black and white,
Yeah, it's dark.
and it's real dark. Don't do that, because you're not gonna know who it is. And again, is it gonna stop the person? Probably not, but it's something to invest in. It's something that we certainly did. All right, next up, get a Prince. Get a dog.
Yes.
It's a great alarm system. There's all different types of breeds out there. So now you guys know the main reason why several months ago we bought a Doberman Pinscher, because they are aggressive dogs and they do protect your home. I've been working with him a lot. He's actually got a great temperament, and he rarely barks unless there's somebody by the property. He growls real good, and we just recently started some bite training with him because he's getting of the age now where he can handle some real protection training. We just think it's the right thing to do. So if your dog barks at night and normally doesn't bark, get up out of bed and look around. Don't ignore that alarm system that you have. Like I said, Prince is real good. Dobermans as a breed normally don't bark that much anyway. He could be laying here all day long and he'll never say a word until somebody he sees walking by the property. And then very rarely will he go down and meet the person. He stays at the high ground and he goes to the rock wall and he just growls, and often he doesn't even bark. And then if the person lingers too long, or you happen to go to the gate, then that's when he opens up and definitely barks. And then at night, he's on alert, and Dobermans are like that.
Yeah.
He hears a noise. He could be outside or inside. If he hears a noise, he perks up, and then he'll get up and start investigating, and he'll growl. And if he happens to be in the house, when he does that, I let him out immediately. I open the slider, let him out, and then he'll just patrol around. And that's exactly what he's doing. He just trots around, and you can hear him growling until he finds out what it is. And usually it's just somebody walking up the road talking.
Especially the workers.
And he heard that, and it's nighttime. So if he hears voices at night outside, he growls, and he will bark at you. So that's a good deterrence. And what we also do is when we have people come visit, we put the dog away. So we do socialize him, but not too much. We want him to be wary of strangers. So that's something that you do as part of the training. But spend a lot of time with him and teach him. And if you get the right breed, obviously if you bought a Chihuahua or a Shih Tzu or a little, tiny lap dog, they may bark good and they may, obviously alert you, but we wanted not only a dog to alert, we want a dog that will protect. And so that's another reason why it's good to have some type of a dog that will protect you. Last but not least, and probably in my opinion, the most important part of having your home protected is to get one of these. Gun ownership is definitely not for everyone, but we feel with the comprehensive plan that we put in place that it was paramount. Again, we hope that we never have to use it for a home burglary, but it's best to have it, be trained, be legal, be prepared, and never have to use it. Then once in a million shot, something does happen, and you're going to a gunfight with a machete or nothing, just your bare hands. So we felt it was important to take that necessary step to have Wilma do the necessary steps to become a responsible gun owner. She has her pistol permit, her gun permit, license here in the Philippines,
and it's registered.
Yeah, and it's it's registered, and it's all done officially. And it was a challenge, right?
It was a challenge, but it's well worth it. You know, it's very comfortable with it. So.
And she's a great shot. Pretty amazed. Now, most of you probably know that a foreigner cannot legally own a gun.
No.
Only a Philippine citizen. So the gun permit's in her name, the gun is in her name. She picked the gun out.
Yes.
So, you know, we're happy that we did it. And again, hope that we never have to use it for any type of home burglary. Now, as sport, I'm allowed to shoot her firearm or any firearm at a shooting range.
Shooting range, yeah.
So that is going to be our new sport. Travel to the shooting range, as long as there are instructors there, we can both shoot at our leisure and keep our skills up. And we'll do so. But when it comes to here on the property, she's the owner of the gun. So what we're going to do is there's going to be a part 2 to this, and it's going to focus on all the steps and fees that it took. A lot of fees.
Now it's even bad. It's going up this year.
This year.
2024 is going up.
Yeah, it seems like 2024, a lot of fees are going up. Not just for guns, but for everything. Everything is going up for whatever reason. Call it inflation. But we did it, multiple steps. We're going to talk it through. And it's something that as part of our comprehensive plan to feel safe, we thought it was necessary. It may not be a step that you want to take, but this video is really aimed on just trying to shine some light that there is theft and there is home burglaries in the Philippines. So it's something that you just have to be aware of and prepare for. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this video and it was informative for you, and look forward to part 2 of this video.